This is Sniper signing in to Command & Conquer Red Alert 3 on the map Infinity Isle for the Win 41 Grand Finals. Spawning on the left side is the yellow Soviets player. This is Dimon. And his opponent spawning as the orange Empire player. On the right side, this is Zaar. Going for that multi-pronged dojo opening, a personal favorite of mine. I love doing that as the Empire, right? Only 500 per dojo, and you can just send out, $1,500 worth of dojos and just pull some sneaky deaky little shenanigans throughout the map with these things, especially here on Infinity Isle. But Dimon, he sees it coming, gets out that flak trooper, and is gonna be ready with that mag mine just in case. We'll probably go ahead and go force fire down this structure just so it cannot be garrisoned by any sort of Imperial infantry. I see that done many a times, and indeed that is exactly what Dimon is going to be doing. No War Factory first, like we saw in semifinal B, where Dimon squared off against John HE. But we also have we're gonna have some infantry pressure. We have infantry pressure coming on out from Zaar. Gonna be sending out those Imperial warriors, trying to get a little bit of a foothold up here. That was good on Dimon, taking out that structure, just builds the one flag trooper to take down the structure, and then immediately pulling it back just in case Zaar wanted to sit in that building and destroy the oil derrick. That way, the reason why Dimon did that is because this oil derrick, with how the game has been updated, with how Red Alert 3 has been updated, when it explodes, it does an area of effect damage. So therefore, if Zaar tried attacking it from the outside, he would harm his own units. Imperial warriors chasing down that flag trooper. He's not going to make it home. Not this time, not today. Engineer, will it get stopped? It's gonna get stopped! Oh no! Zaar's just lost the engineer. That was so close. Dimon saw his chance and bolted. Just absolutely bolted a sickle up there. Takes it down. Tengu Harass is gonna be online here very soon. Sickle's already moving to react to one of these Tengus. The other Tengu is going to have a little bit of a open season, quote unquote. No mining. Absolutely no mining from Dimon happening right now. Needs to get that harvester back to work, and indeed he does. Collector getting right back on the line. Terror drone infecting that Tengu. That's most unfortunate for him. Bullfrog already out. Going to be shooting down these enemies straight from the skies. Shooting down these Tengus rather straight from the skies. That's not going to be something Zaar will enjoy seeing at all. What else does Zaar have going for him? Mecha Base out. No MCV move as of yet. Does wind up capping Dimon's derrick, while the MCV is right here, no less. But that is likely because all the sickles are currently back at base, and they are a little busy dealing with the Tengu harass that's been going after the ore lines of Dimon, just stalling that harvest time, that collection time, just a little bit, ever so slightly, to start to make that little bit of a difference, hopefully later on in the game. Zaar, okay. As an Empire player, you have to be careful with how many Tengus you commit to harassment, which that was almost one dead Tengu. That was almost one very dead Tengu. But committing this many Tengus to harassment, that's dangerous. Because now, all of a sudden, we're at a point where Zaar has got, what? 2 Imperial Warriors on the map? One here, and probably one here. And only just now starting to rebuild from his Mecha Bay. He's lost absolutely everything. Has only 1 Tengu, but then 3 sickles are already on their way. 3 sickles, a Terror drone that could possibly be joining them. Another Tengu going for harass. Another Terror drone. Oh, he knit it wall. Oh, there's the wall off. Okay, good. He caught it. That was good. Very good on Zaar. Catching that Terror drone before he could get in there and infect his collector. And, I always say, switch your collector over to combat mode. It can beat, I'm pretty sure, it can beat a sickle one-on-one, but that's 3v1, so of course that Tsunami Tank is going to be rolling over to help out. That is going to be 3 dead sickles, but the question is, will that collector go down with it? Barely. It barely goes down. However, 3 sickles and a Bullfrog and a Terror drone sacked for 1 collector. Well, considering that Zaar has been unable to kill any of Dimon's collectors this game, I think that's a pretty fair trade. Considering the position that Dimon is in, he could probably weather the storm a little bit, but with these Tengus coming over now, this is the back and forth that happens a lot of times when you're playing an Empire player. If one side, well, typically the Empire, goes in for harassment a lot. But if they manage to hold the counterattack that results from their harassment either being defeated or driven back, then suddenly if they counterattack instantly right there with their Tengus, there's typically not that much here to stop them. Now, of course, there were some terror drones out here. They did manage to drive off 2 of the Tengus. The hammer tank will clean out the 3rd. One heavily wounded terror drone gonna be trying just to waddle its way on over to do what it can here. However, that will not be very much indeed. Is he gonna capture the observation post? That's the only reason why I can think of. You have an engineer up here. Yes, he is. He's gonna capture the observation tower. That is honestly, I do not see people capturing the observation tower very often at all on this map. It is one of probably, on any map for that matter. I think the observation tower is probably the most useless structure. Well, yeah, for practically speaking, a lot of it, or at least in a lot of the games that I see either here on the channel or just replays I watch in my spare time, just nobody goes for it just because everybody is so really good at just getting scouting done on their own. And speaking of scouting, Dimon, having either from that observation tower or from having the war bear out here in the water, spots the T2 transition on that mecha bay. Well, already spotted it, of course, because the tsunami tank was already out. But Ricky sees Chopper VXs coming out and he realizes, okay, so he might try some little shenanigans trying to get behind me with these Chopper VXs, which if you get the advanced rocket pod, well, really, even if you don't get the advanced rocket pod upgrade in the top secret protocols, Chopper VXs, they can very quickly ruin your day. I have ruined many a player's days, either here on PC or back on console, using Chopper VXs. Actually, those are probably my most built unit while I was playing as the Empire. But does Zaar know that he has this observation tower? Because I bet you anything, yes, indeed, it sees. Well, he may have been. They may have been responding over here because there were the Tengus, but that observation tower, I'll bet you anything, revealed that these Chopper VXs were moving in the direction that they were. Which, I mean, if he didn't see them before, he certainly does now. Dimon, that is. Gonna just go in, see about destroying this oil derrick. What kind of response? 3 bullfrogs. As soon as those rock up, that's gonna be 1 dead Chopper. Nope, not quite 1 dead Chopper VX. Will that be a dead Tengu? Yes, that will be a dead Tengu. See, that's the problem with changing or like waiting to the last possible second before you do the switch on your Tengus. That's handy if you're playing an allies player and you're trying to dodge a Vindicator bomb. You wait to the last second just before the bombs drop, like right as the animation starts. You flip the transition switch, and then you can dodge all the bombs and maybe even shoot down the Vindicator. But if you wait to go from air to ground against something like a bullfrog or a pack of bullfrogs, suddenly, you know, things get a little more dangerous just because the bullfrogs have got such a powerful force multiplier when it comes to their damage output. It's absolutely powerful. You cannot underestimate the bullfrog at all. And really with the multi-gunner IFVs too, just because it's the sheer excuse me? Excuse you, Dimon. Just throwing down a vacuum imploder because, you know, reasons. Vacuum imploder is taken to the map. Zaar, what is he gonna do about that? Now suddenly taking that observation tower, that makes a little more sense. Because typically you don't take the observation tower if you're looking to like finish the game quickly, right? If you're looking to finish the game quickly, or if you think the game's gonna be over quickly, you generally won't take that. You'd rather spend the 500 credits or dollars or whatever on another form of, you know, military unit, combat unit, attacking up, you know, whatever. But in this case, it does make sense to take the observation tower because it gives you a bit of an early warning radar. And when you're up against, when you're grabbing a vacuum imploder, when you're going for a super weapon like that, yeah, you're gonna need some early warning radar. But my only spiel about this is that since Dimon put it so close to the coast, that's an apocalypse tank. Oh, the pride of the Soviet armor is coming out. We have a gigantic Tengu air wing coming out, and it's gonna get spotted, all completely spotted. Flat cannon plus Tesla coil. Tesla coil already online. I think PDD eats one of those Tesla shots. Yes, it does. I think PDD does eat one of those Tesla coil shots. Barracks gonna be going down to these Chopper VXs that are over here on the map. Apocalypse tank plus Terra drone just gonna roll in and go YOLO all over the base of Zaar. This is gonna be. I love Apocalypse tanks, right? I gotta show the King Oni some love from the Empire, but you have to respect the Soviet Apocalypse tank. It is one of the most well-made units, I think. When EA made this game, I honestly think it's just one of the most awesome, the most hilarious units in the game. In Zaar, I don't think the vacuum imploder wasn't even gonna get a chance to fire. 2 Apocalypse tanks with their M harpoons coming in suddenly, just harpooning everything. if Soviets get up to tier 3, if you don't have a tier 3 answer, especially as Empire, then you better have a ton. You better have a metric ton of Imperial infantry. And by that, I mean like maybe like 5 or 6 Imperial warriors and like a dozen plus tank busters. You have that. If you have that many, then typically the warriors can overwhelm the terror drones and or bears, typically. And then the tank busters should be able to slag down the apocalypse tanks before they come in for the crush move, just because the apocalypse tanks are so slow. But if you get that far up there, especially if Dimon is able to get to tier 3, I think that's one of the first games I've ever seen Dimon get to tier 3. And honestly, I think at that point he was just kind of laying back in his chair. He was relaxing, having a little fun with it. Not to discredit Zaar by any means. Zaar was everywhere that game with the micro, or not micro. What's the word I'm looking for? Harassment. Sending out Tengus really every chance. It seems like there was not really a 30. I think at most in that game there may have been like one or two 45-second spans or less, give or take, that did not see any harassment done from Zaar. Zaar, he was always trying to get out onto the map, always trying to do damage to Dimon's economy, always just trying to slow him down. But ultimately, in the end, it just wasn't really enough, because especially I think what I'll attribute it to is Dimon grabbing that observation tower. It forced Zaar's movements along the borders of the map, because if he went through the center, then he gets spotted by that observation tower, and so Dimon could just react. But if you wanted to dodge the observation tower, he had to go around either the southern border or the top border, which that suddenly places two obvious chokeholds of where Zaar can come from, and so Dimon just had to put bears in each region, and next thing you know, boom, for all intents and purposes, you basically have full map vision. So you have vision over all of the important areas. And Dimon, 9,000 ore in favor for a 10-minute game. That is pretty significant. That 9,000 ore translated to a battle lab, a vacuum imploder, and a couple of apocalypse tanks. It's a good day when the Soviet Tier 3 ground force gets to show up, gets to come out and play. But that's enough for game number 1. So let's jump into game number 2. Which brings us to the map Battle Base Beta, spawning on the bottom left side as the yellow Soviets player. This is Dimon. And his opponent, spawning as the purple Empire player. This is Zaar. I am digging the purple on the Empire. I love it. Honestly, I think purple it just goes well with any of the factions and their color highlights. It just goes really, really well. Now, Battle Base Beta, of course, you're going to see a lot of infantry play. Typically, that's typically the standard on this map. Seeing some infantry play, trying to nab these two central garrisons, which it's a little surprising to see dojos deploying this far up. He's going to get the garrisons. Like that's a little surprising, honestly. I would have thought that he would have I would have expected Zaar, if I were in his shoes, I would have sent one dojo forward. That Imperial warrior didn't go in the building. He didn't go in the building, and he died. Well, this isn't really a battle of infantry for the center anymore. Dimon just kind of took it. he just kind of moved up and took it. He's sending another engineer forward. He didn't grab his derrick, so I think that's meant for his derrick. I think that's meant for his derrick. He could be going for an observation tower again, which actually, based on the pathing of that engineer, no, I think Dimon's giving that engineer an order. He's going to be going for the observation tower. He built another engineer. Is that going to be his oil derrick engineer? Is it? I have no idea. I really have no idea. Oh, wait a minute. How is Zaar getting high ground vision right there? I wonder. Does that building grant high ground vision? Is that Imperial warrior is firing up at those conscripts, lobbing the Molotov cocktails down, trying to de-garrison the structure? It's just a little surprising, I guess. It's just a little surprising. Yo, Dimon, what are you doing? I have to wonder, Dimon, what you doing? There are two idle engineers, and he didn't grab his derrick. Oh. Well, that answers that question. Super reactor is already down. Sentry gun going down as well. War bear camping the dojo, and boink, down it goes. Well, rip that Warbear. Man, Zaar managed to slap that F key just enough to make that bring out the energy katana that sliced up that Warbear right then and there. Oil Derrick, on the other hand, from Zaar, gonna be going down. I don't really see anything he's got. Well, he's got a couple of Tengus he could task to go save it, but I mean, that might be a bit of a hard sell. He could pull back those and go capture and go save it that way. He does wind up capturing up the observation tower. The OBS tower, we'll have to see if that plays any significant role, which I think it did last game. There we go. Now finally capping the Oil Derrick. I kind of wonder what made Dimon delay so long taking the Oil Derrick. Maybe there was some banter back and forth where Dimon said, yeah, sure, I'll wait to capture my stuff. Just cause, you know, reasons. A flight of Tengus. Only 5, though. And with this sentry gun here in the center, using this is, okay, really all factions could take note of this. As on Battle-Based Beta, one base defense turret, one base defense right here in the middle is enough to cover both of these collectors. So if they're under harassment, especially if you're playing an Empire, and they come under harassment damage, then that one defense turret can cover them, but that's not good. 2 crushed. Will there be 3? Yes, there will be 3. Will there be 4? There, 4 crushed. 5 crushed. Oh my, that wasn't good. 6 Tengus go in, 5 of them get crushed. That is so not good, and neither is that. Losing the collector. No, the docks. The docks. Dimon, you can infect the docks core. Does he see it? Oh, he sees it now. He sees it now. He sees. Oh, is he going to go for it? I don't think he's going to go for it. I don't think he's really going to. Yeah, he managed to stop these. Oh, Dimon, you sneaky little bugger. You sneaky little bugger. Yes, it was just about to deploy, but using the Electro Claws on it, apparently that cancels the deploy order on that Imperial Docks. I actually did not know that. Now having to bring back that Docks core and try and get it repaired out before that Terror Drone can kill it, which it will get repaired. Terror Drone is going to be gone, but there are 4 hammer tanks from Dimon knocking on the front door. And would you look at this map coverage? Dimon can see everything. Garrisonable structure. Structure. He owns everything, not to mention the observation tower that he capped right around here in the northern center of the map. Terror Drone just freezing MCV in place. Zaar can't do diddly squat. He can't do diddly squat. It's not gonna happen. He can't do diddly squat. This is not good for Zaar at all. And that tsunami tank passing on over its gun to that hammer tank. That is one dead MCV. Chopper VXs are here, but so are Bullfrogs. Like too little too late on the Chopper VXs, I think. MCV does wind up going down. Chopper and Bullfrog trade. Last generator is gonna knock him into low power mode if he wasn't there already. That's it. That's gonna be a GG. Dimon's gonna take it. What in the world? Like Dimon is just everywhere. I feel like this is a bit of a depart. Like, it's a little bit of a different Dimon than what we normally see. We normally see this hyper-aggressive, you know, just go straight for the jugular every time Dimon, right? Which, that was still pretty hyper-aggressive. But that time, one thing what's different is that he took garrisons all over the map. Like, every single garrison on the map, nearly, was under his control. I mean, it does wonders. Having just one like conscript or one flak trooper or one whatever just garrison about throughout the map, it does so much good. Just in terms of map control, but of course, or map vision. But in that case, Dimon didn't really even need it. He was everywhere. He got it. He repelled the harassment from Zaar, and just went straight at him. He won the middle, basically no contest. Sent the hammer tanks virtually unopposed. The fast tech up to that with that super reactor allowed Dimon to get those hammer tanks online pretty quick. And just that's just it. That's all she wrote. Dimon really came out swinging in this game. Absolutely good, nice, good performance from him. Indeed, 22,000 in favor of Dimon, 18,000 for Zaar, so about a 4K difference, thereabout, maybe a little bit less. So it's not the most significant difference in the world. For a 6-minute game, that's kind of the point where it just starts to become less significant. 4,000 is still a pretty significant number because that extra ore that Dimon got could very well have translated to those extra like 2 or 3 hammer tanks, or the extra bullfrog, or a couple more terror drones, or just a lot, just things like that here and there. The little things, they do start to add up. Now, while I was checking for other games from this series as well, we had the same situation here as we had in semifinal B, which I'm assuming this to be the case. That I'm assuming Zaar had to depart early from the series, as there are no other games from the Grand Finals of For the Win 41. So I'm assuming only 2 were uploaded, only 2 were played. So as a result, Dimon is going to be taking the crown as the For the Win 41 champion after only 2 games. But, sometimes just scheduling, people have different things to do. We all have, sometimes if you gotta go, you gotta go. Sometimes you just can't help it. So we'll have to see. Maybe that will turn itself around in one of the future events. We'll just have to see. Time will tell. But without any further ado, Dimon will take it. GG, well played to both of these players. And thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one. And this is Sniper, signing out.